Find the remainder when 6x cubed minus 13x squared plus x plus 2 is divided by x plus 3. Okay, so in order to answer this question, what I want to do is I want to use the remainder theorem. If I'm dividing by x plus 3, what I want to know is, if I consider that to be equal to 0, this would tell me that the value I need to use is x minus 3. So I want to do f of minus 3. So I get 6 lots of minus 3 cubed minus 13 lots of minus 3 squared plus minus 3 plus 2. So if I do f of minus 3, if we put this into a calculator and we work through it, we should get an answer of minus 280. So the remainder is minus 280. Okay, B part I says show that x minus 2 is a factor of this expression. So again, what I want to do is I want to say, okay, well, x minus 2 equals 0. I want to find what x value can I put into the factor theorem. So I'm going to put in x equals 2 into the function. So this should be equal to 0 if x minus 2 is a factor. So I get 6 lots of 2 cubed minus 13 lots of 2 squared plus 2 plus 2. So let's just show it's convincing, don't assume it. It's 6 times 8 is 48. I get minus 13 times 4, so minus 52, plus 2 plus 2. So f of 2 definitely equals 0, therefore x plus 2 is, sorry, not x plus 2, I'm looking at the tail end of the actual cubic there. X minus 2 is a factor. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to show, or we want to factorize x cubed minus 13x squared plus x plus 2 using that. So the way I do this is that I consider this to be equal to x minus 2 times some sort of quadratic. Let's use capital letters to represent the coefficients. Ax squared plus bx plus c. So essentially what I do is I draw a little table, put the x and minus 2 along the side. Now across the top I'm going to try and find my quadratic. So first of all I start off with ax squared. And I think, okay, what does x have to multiply in this position here? It's got to multiply an x squared term. How many x squared is it going to have to multiply to get 6x cubed? And the answer is 6x squared. And if I fill in the table to check that, I get, okay, there's my 6x cubed as required. What I can do is a little bit like a Sudoku, so I can start to fill in the rest of the table. So 6x squared times minus 2 is minus 12x squared. Now next I want to find what bx is. And what I have to think is, okay, well, I need minus 13x squared. I've already got minus 12x squared. So in this position here, I need another minus x squared. So these two add up now to give me the minus 13x squared. So x times what gives me minus x squared? X times minus x. And again, I can fill in the rest now. So minus 2 times minus x is plus 2x. So I look at my next term. I've got x in my cubic. So that means that this term and whatever goes here has to add up to give me positive x. That means I need a minus x at this stage, because 2x minus x gives me positive 1x. What do I multiply x by to get minus x? Well, I'll just multiply it by minus 1. And finally, this last entry here, if I've done everything correctly, when I multiply minus 2 by minus 1, I get plus 2, and that matches up there. So a little double tick, because it looks like I've correctly factorized and got my quadratic now. Okay, now if I want to factorize this cubic fully, I need to factorize 6x squared minus x minus 1. So let's just quickly do 6x squared minus x minus 1. Factors of AC, AC equals minus 6. Factors that will give us a difference of two factors which have different signs which give a difference of minus 1. would be minus 3 plus 2. So I can rewrite this as 6x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 1. Factorise the first two pairs of terms. 3x is a common factor, so I get 2x minus 1. No common factors here. It's already in the form of the bracket I want, so I'm just going to take 1 out. So 2x minus 1. And then finally, I can take 3x plus 1 and 2x minus 1, and I've fully factorised. So just finish off by saying 6x cubed minus 13x squared plus x plus 2 is equal to x minus 2, 3x plus 1, and 2x minus 1. Okay, let's just go back over this and see how marks are awarded. In part A, method mark is awarded for showing that we're going to substitute x equals minus 3 in, and then an answer mark is given for getting the remainder of minus 280. Part BI, we get a method mark for substituting in x equals 2 and get an accuracy mark for showing that we get this value of 0 when we substitute it into that cubic. Part 2, there is a method mark for somehow showing that you are trying to factorise. So in this case it's my table. You can of course do polynomial division or do it by inspection. My preferred method is using this table. There is then an accuracy mark if you manage to show that you get to, or there's two accuracy marks should I say, if you manage to get to this equation here, or get this expression out of the process of factorization. Finally, there is then just one final accuracy mark if you've managed to go all the way to factorizing the quadratic, and so you've got the cubic as a product of 3 linear factors. Okay, well I hope that answer made sense and you understood.